Progress.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our SWAC football head coaches media session for Monday, November 25th. We'll begin at approximately 10:05 with Alabama A&M head coach Connell Maynor. He'll be followed by Alabama State's Eddie Robinson from 10:15 to 10:25. We'll be joined by Coach Cedric Thomas with Alcorn State 25. Coach Raymond Whitty will join us at 10:35 from Bethune-Cookman. Coach James Colsey with Florida A&M will be at 10:45. Coach Mickey Joseph, Grambling State, will join us at 10:55. Coach Alonzo Hampton with Arkansas Pine Bluff will join us at 11:05. Coach Kendrick Wade with Mississippi Valley State join us at 11:15. Coach Ashton Green will join us at 11:25 from Prairie View A&M. Coach Chris Dishman with Texas Southern will be at 10:45, and Coach T.C. Taylor with Jackson State will be at 11:55. There is also a today. For Coach Mickey Joseph's time allotment at 10:55, but we'll keep you aware if there are any adjustments made with the coaches. I want to thank everyone for taking some time out of your schedule to join us. We'll be back momentarily. Thank you for your patience. For all of our media participants that are joining us on our call today, we ask that you please use the raise your hand feature if you have questions for our coaches. If you do see that there are several questions there in the queue, we ask that you please limit your questions to one initial question. Feel free to re-raise your hand. If we've got additional time allotted within our coaches' availability, we will work our way back around to get additional questions answered. Please wait to be called upon prior to asking your question, and please ensure that your lines are actively muted unless you are asking a question. With that being said, happy to be joined by Alabama A&M head coach Connell Maynor. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Andrew. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, Coach. Pretty good. Coach, as always, thank you for taking some time to join us. If you could start us out with an opening statement, recapping your team's most recent outing at Mississippi Valley State.
Yeah, man, we went to Mississippi Valley. We knew they was going to be jacked up, pumped up, ready to play. It was senior day. Then they had a presentation for the young man, and they're coming off a big win against FAMU. And so we knew Coach Wade was going to have those guys ready to play. They always are. They always play hard, and we knew they're going to play a little bit harder this week with it being senior day and everything they had going on, and coming off a big win. So. Um, and sure enough, it was if you love offensive football, you love the first half. I mean, I don't think anybody stopped anybody. It's probably 4 turnovers and 28-28 at halftime. Um, and so it was just a battle. And fortunately, second half we was able to make a couple more plays, and then we outscored them 21-7 in the second half, and was able to sneak out there with a W. But my hats off to Mississippi Valley and Coach Wade. He really has those guys playing hard. It's hard to get guys to play as hard as he gets guys to play when you have the record that they had, and for him to be able to get those guys up every week and keep playing as hard as they do, I gotta take my hats off to them because man, they don't quit at all. Uh, they playing like they playing for a championship out there, and so was my guys, and it was just a battle and a good football game in the SWAC, and it was a good win for us. It was a good road win. Wins are hard to come by, and road wins are even harder to come by. So we was happy to get out of there with the W.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. Want to open up the floor for questions for Coach Maynard with Alabama A&M. Floor is now open for questions. All right, first question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach Maynard.
Good morning, Perry. How you doing?
Super fantastic. Hey, Coach, let's give a synopsis of the season as the season has wound down now. Talk about your expectations from the beginning of the year and where you finished up.
Well, expectations, we always want to win outside, get in the championship game, win that, and get to the celebration mode. I mean, that's every coach goal at the beginning of the season. Of course, we didn't reach that. Right now, we're at 6-5, 4-3 in the conference. So we want to try to get one more win and get to 7-5 and 5-3 in the conference. Uh, you know, we was close. We was close, and that's where this league is. It's not very far from the first place team or the best team to the middle of the pack or to the bottom of the pack. So as you can see, Valley, we struggled with Valley this week. Valley beat Fam last week. Uh, State and Prairie View had a 9-3 game. This league is very close, man. It's 1 or 2 plays, and our 3 losses is by a total of 20 points this year. So we right there, a couple plays away. The ball bounces funny ways sometimes, and but you got to take your hats off to the guys that was able to win those games and get their teams in position to be in the championship games, and that's Coach Graves and TC. So, but we battled all year. We didn't give up. We was 1-3 at one point, and 3-5. So we won 3 in a row, and we're trying to make it 4 in a row and finish this thing off with a pretty good season at 7-5.
And 4 in a row, that would require you to get this victory over FAMU coming in. Talk about them.
Oh yeah, they got a good team, man. Coach Cozy doing a good job with them. They was one of the favorites at the beginning of the season. They got a good quarterback. They got 2 good running backs. They got good wide receivers. They good up front, and they good on defense. So, and they playing at home, and so we know we got our work cut out for us. We got to play one of our best games of the season if we want to have a chance to win this football game and get out there with a W. That's for sure.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Currently taking questions for Coach Maynard with Alabama A&M. Final questions for Coach. All right, Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Look forward to speak to you again next week.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate y'all.
Or actually, Coach,
good luck this week.
Let me correct myself, Coach. This is actually the final call, so we look forward to speaking with you at Media Day.
Oh, man. I look forward to this, man. All right, man.
We appreciate you, Coach. Have a good one.
Okay, hey, Eddie, I'm going to call you after this, man. I need some defensive pointers. All right, buddy. Later.
Appreciate it, Coach. All right, we are ahead of schedule for Coach Robinson's availability, so we will pause momentarily. We'll be back at approximately 10:15. Thank you for your patience. Once again, for our media participants that are joining us on the call, if you do have questions for our coaches, please utilize raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. Please wait to be acknowledged prior to asking your question, and please ensure that your line is actively muted unless you are asking a question. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Robinson with Alabama State. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How's it going today?
Good, Coach. Coach, as always, appreciate you taking some time to join us. And if you could start us out with an opening statement recapping your team's most recent outing versus Prairie View.
Yeah, played a home game in Montgomery against Prairie View, team that we ironically hadn't beaten in I think 10 or 11 tries. So that was I don't know how it got to be that many wins, but they've been doing a good job of beating us consistently on a consistent basis. They beat us the last 2 years. So good tough ball game. Listen to Coach Maynard, I think it was the exact opposite of their game. This was definitely a defensive struggle. My son, he said he was following the scores while he was at work, and it was 3-3, 6-3, and he's like, yeah, that's the type of game my dad like. And I like these type of games. I like defensive games. Came down to us tying the game up at 6-6 at the half. Both teams were playing pretty physical defense, and so it was just one of those type of games. Good special teams game, good defensive game. We were fortunate enough to get a field goal late in the fourth quarter to give us a 9-6 lead. Had a couple opportunities to score. Had some special teams razzle dazzle that didn't work out. They reacted to it, and so had another touchdown that was called back by a penalty. We missed a line, so that was a good call on the ref. So just one of those situations where we couldn't get a whole lot going, but we got enough going to win. So you never apologize for winning, especially this time of year. Late in the year, playing a good tough team. Coach McDowell had those guys ready to play. Bus, this. Definitely wish Bubba the best. I think he did a great job while he was there. One of the guys that I always looked up to. Wouldn't have played 11 years in the NFL if not for Bubba, because he helped me get through that first year or two down there. So got a lot of respect for him, a lot of respect for that staff, a lot of respect for those guys, getting them ready to play to come up here. And we were just fortunate to get a win, another SWAC win to 9-6. And then this week, we come up and we play Tuskegee with the 100 Turkey Day Classic. So that's 100 years of a classic is a big deal. So we'll be ready for that game on Thursday.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Dwayne Nash.
Good morning, Coach. How are you doing?
Doing well. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. Like you just said, you actually snapped a losing streak to Prairie View. You actually snapped another losing streak during the regular season. This 2-game losing streak you were facing going into the Prairie View matchup. Now that you've come through a lot of these tough games throughout the entire season, you have a rivalry game coming up this weekend against Division II program where you're 5-1 against D1 programs. What is your message to your program coming up this week? Even though you kind of handled Division II programs during your time there at Alabama State, and you guys aren't necessarily playing for a conference championship the week after.
Right. I mean, this is it. So for the seniors, it'll be senior day. Some of these guys, Traquan Thomas, DeMarcus Cunningham, Rico Dozier, those guys, this will be their last time, last time to play a college football game. So I kind of break it down to you get about 60 plays at 7 seconds to play. So that's about 7 minutes of football. So you have 7 minutes to play football as hard as you can. So I think that's what it comes down to go out there and compete. And I have another chance to win. You only get 12 Saturdays to play. So you think about it all. Look at it as a D2 program. We look at it as the Tuskegee Tigers. I mean, those guys are going to come up Golden Tigers. So they're going to come out here and play hard, and they're going to expect to win. So we have to go out there and play. And this game means a whole lot to the people in the community. It means a lot to me. I played in it 4 years, came back to it a whole lot as an alumnus. And so it's a big game for us and a big game for them. So we're going to go out there and do everything we can to win the game.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing today?
Doing well. How's it going, Doc?
I'm doing good. This recent outing with Prairie View, you saw, like you said, you saw the score be 3-3, 6-3, 9-6, which you said this is the type of game that you like to play. What are some things that you want to try to do to implement for this game against Tuskegee, knowing even though it's a Division II program, they do have your number overall. What are some things you want to try to do to implement as far as offensive wise?
Yeah, I think the obvious thing is to score more points. So we have to do more things. We have to be more creative. I take a lot of notes from Coach Maynor. He's the offensive guru on here. So we're gonna find what our guys do well, and then we're gonna attack the things that they have trouble stopping. So that was his tips a couple weeks ago about why he's always good on offense. So, but nah, seriously, I mean, we know we have to play better. We have to. We ran the football early. DeQuan Kinsey had 97 yards rushing. Our problem was the red zone. We were in the red zone 4 times. We only scored twice. So you get in the red zone 4 times and you only scored 9 points, and that's kind of obvious the problem. So we have to get those red zone opportunities and turn those into touchdowns. So we get touchdowns in the red zone, we'll be fine. And so I think that's where we went wrong with the Prairie View game. But we have to give Prairie View credit. I mean, they stopped us in the red zone. It's not like we weren't trying to score. And so that was just the way that game went. But this is a new game, a new week. And so we have to put points on the board, and that's going to be the goal.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Next question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How's it going?
Super fantastic. How are you?
Going well, going well.
Hey, Coach, down to 5 quarterbacks this season. Going into the off season, what do you do to build the type of resiliency that you've built at that position in your program?
Yeah, well, Kareem has just been. I can't thank the kid enough. I mean, he really came in and saved the season. And so, and keep in mind, he wasn't here as a quarterback. He was really a wide receiver. He wasn't. We had 5 quarterbacks. He was just an emergency guy who was playing a slot receiver who never sat in the quarterback room until week 3. So if you think about it, from a guy that's able to learn the offense and produce the way he has this season, has some ups and downs, but overall, I mean, I can't complain about him at all. And so, love the kid, great attitude, comes out. When he makes a mistake, he comes off the field telling you, hey, this is the coach, this is the mistake I made, and he corrects it the very next play. And so just one of those things that realizing So I get well, coach, won't y'all run this? Won't y'all run that? But hey, man, we have to run what the kids can handle, and so that's been part of it. But I just love the way nobody's complained. I haven't complained. The coaches haven't complained, nor the players. And it's football. Like, nobody cares about your problems. It's just like life. They're going to use that to go out there and try to beat you. So we understand that, and so we just went about our business to try to get better each week and win more than we lost. And so that's been the goal, to try to win games and every week. And so now we have one more, and this is the biggest game this week. We want to finish on a high note, have a chance to finish with a winning record, and most importantly, to win the 100 Turkey Day Classic. So that's my message to the kids. You don't get to play in a 100 anything very much. So when you get that opportunity, you want to take advantage of it and try to win.
And Coach, talk about your seniors that may have received postseason opportunities in bowl games coming up.
Yeah, I mean, on Scarborough, James Burgess, who's up for the Aeneas Williams Award, leads the conference with 4 interceptions. Great kid, been playing, starting the last couple of years. Traquan Thomas leads the FCS in sacks, tackles for loss, forced fumbles. Player of the Year candidate, in my opinion. DeMarcus Cunningham, Rico Dozier, Kinsey. I have a great group of seniors, so we got our work cut out for us. Another guy is a 4-year starter, 2 years at Bethune-Cookman, 2 with us. Aurelius Dunn was preseason all-conference offensive lineman. So we have a couple guys, talking to the guys with the Legacy Bowl, Shaq Harrison, those guys that I feel like these are guys that can play at the next level, and that's what they're looking for to get into those type of games. But love these kids, man. They've worked hard. That senior leadership really got us through a couple tough moments this season, and nobody ever complained. Like I said, everybody just stayed together, and that's what you need. That's what you're trying to breed kids that can overcome adversity, because that's what you need in life. It's going to be some tough moments in life, and you want kids that can come in here and teach those young guys how to build for those type of moments.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Any final questions for Coach? All right, we got a question from Dwayne Nash.
One quick question, Coach. What concerns you, or who concerns you over there in Tuskegee as you come into this matchup again under the Turkey Day Classic?
Well, I think their offensive coordinator, Coach Harry Williams, he was here with us the last couple of years. He knows our defense well, and so that's my biggest concern. Just from schematically, he knows the things that can affect us, the things that we had trouble with in practice for the last couple of years. So, he's a great guy at putting plays together, and we know him too, but that's kind of my biggest concern. And I think their quarterback, he can make some really good decisions with the ball, and just having a running game, those type of things. So just the basics for us defensively, we have to go out there and be firm against the run and not give up the big plays and play at a high standard. I mean, we're number one defense in the conference, so we have to play like it. And we have to go out there and put some plays together offensively to get points on the board. We can't just rely on field goals. We know that, and so we have to play a little better offensively to get the ball in the end zone.
All right, thanks so much, Coach.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Definitely appreciate your time throughout the entire season, and we look forward to speaking with you at Media Day.
Absolutely, and thank you guys. Appreciate all you do as far as covering us week to week, and everybody have a great end of the season. Best of luck to everybody who still has games.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, we now move over to Alcorn State. Once again, if you do have any questions, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Thomas with Alcorn State. Good morning, Coach.
Morning.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. If you could please start us out with an opening statement recapping your team's most recent outing versus Jackson State.
Yes, sir. I had a big game, Soul Bowl event, really festive. The crowd participation was really, really amazing on both sides. Guys really showed up to support this the game, and just started out really, really slow to a really good Jackson team. They just kind of pressed us and didn't let off. Had some plays from a field position standpoint defensively. Those guys, just kind of kept our backs against the wall and kept scoring. And defensively, we waited to the last year to play our worst football game, not just defensively, but as a team. So that was disappointing. But kudos to TC and that staff. They've done a really good job. And representing the conference on that side is, it was really good, to see those guys do what they did. And we just got to be able to keep our head, in that type of environment. That was the disappointing part. Was just, our guys just wasn't resilient, just from a behavior standpoint, which is disappointing. So we got a lot to build on going into this offseason, but proud of the guys and what they've done this year. Didn't end up the way we wanted it, but a lot of things that we can take forward as we continue to build this culture and get this program to where we want it to be.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. We'll now open up the floor for questions for Coach. If you do have questions, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. First question goes to Doc Holliday.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing today?
I'm blessed. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. There was a call against basically your star defensive player, Malachi Bailey, where he had got thrown out of the game. Did you know what the call was? And, just basically the reason why he got thrown out, other than having 2 personal foul penalties?
Yeah, well, our administration, IED came to practice out Friday and just, said that he got a memo about, how tight the game was going to be, and just kind of tone it down just from a verbiage standpoint, no talking, no extracurricular, just because of things that have been going on. And, Malachi kind of felt like things was going, the opposite way, however, we expect more out of him, not just the leader of the program, but just who he is as a person. And, the act that he did was warranted. And so he just got to keep his head, and that's the tough part about being a leader. And so, he just didn't represent himself, the institution or his family in the manner in which we did. And so the refs did what they're supposed to do. And so we just got to continue to get better and learn from it. He finna get out in the real world, legacy bowl and things like that. But that behavior, we just can't do that, regardless of how good or how bad things going.
And my follow-up question is, going into the offseason, what are 3 key positions that you're looking for to try to improve the football team?
Discipline. That's just it. The X's and O's and personnel, we're just as good as, everybody we pretty much faced in conference, but, way too many penalties We on the way too many, things that Malachi did, on the big stage. And if we want to get back to that championship way, we can't do things like that. And so for us, the players are one thing, but we got to continue to build a culture of just discipline and doing things the right way when things are not going well. And I thought overall, just looking back over the season, those were just kind of those thorns that kind of stuck in our side, yearly. And so we got to clean it up. We got to go find those different type of guys. But we also got to continue to set a culture to get guys to understand we're going to do it the right way.
Do you know what positions that you're looking for? Like, what's the most important positions that you're looking for your team?
All of them.
I understand, Coach. You have a good one, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
Next question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Morning.
Hey, Coach, did you just say that you received a memo from the conference on Friday before the game?
I don't know when I didn't receive the memo, but from my understanding, our athletic director received one. Now, when he got it, I don't know, but he came and spoke to the guys on Friday about, something that he received from whether the conference office or referees or whoever. But he spoke to the guys, just about, how the game was going to be called. He talked about, just no extra, no verbiage, no warnings, that type deal.
And what type of behavior do you know that precipitated that type of communication?
I have no earthly idea. I don't know if there was previous, games, and with this being on TV, just kind of making sure things was cleaned up. Just could have been from last year. We did have an incident after the Jackson game last year. And that's just speculation on my part. And so I don't know directly where it came from, but I know that's the first game that, my supervisor, came out and mentioned things to the team about, behavior.
Okay. And lastly, Coach, give us a description of how your first season went as a head coach.
It was good. It was good to be able to just come behind a really good, football coach. We know what Coach Mac done for this program, and so just getting in, being able to, learn the kids just for me, the implementation of things that we wanted to do from a staffing. There's a lot of good things out there. There's a few plays here and there that was out there, as far as the teams that we played. But just to watch these guys grow and develop and continue to get better, the last one year it's a black eye. And we very disappointed, about the manner in which that game ended and our behavior. But overall, I'm proud of the guys. Had a lot of young guys to get a lot of playing time, so the future's bright. We just got to hold the guys in house and be able to just maintain that level of consistency and retention. And so, coaching staff are proud of those guys. To my 8 games on the road with a really young ball club. And kind of held their own. And so I'm excited about the future. For where this program headed.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck with your future. It looks very bright.
Appreciate it, sir.
Currently taking questions for Coach Thomas with Alcorn State. Any final questions for Coach? Ahead of schedule for Coach Woody with Bethune-Cookman. We'll pause momentarily. Thank you for your patience. We are working to make contact with Coach Woody with Bethune-Cookman. We will be joined by him as soon as we're able to get him connected to the call. We do appreciate your patience. We'll be back momentarily. All right, for our meeting participants, if you do have questions, once again, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. Please wait to be acknowledged prior to asking your questions, and please ensure that your lines are actively muted unless you are asking a question. With that being said, so happy to be joined by Coach Woody with Bethune-Cookman. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How you doing?
Great, Coach, and appreciate you, and definitely appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule to join us. Coach, if you could please start us out with an opening statement recapping your team's most recent outing versus Florida A&M.
Well, I tell you what, the Classic, it was a great experience. You know, saw a lot of people I haven't seen before. I know Coach Cozy and I mean, obviously, you know, we communicate on a consistent basis, but that game, you know how it is. I mean, it's either, you know, you do it or you don't. You know, we had our luncheon. I thought that was great. We started the game, you know, FAMU started with the ball and scored first. And we was kind of going back and forth in the first half. Then our offense scored seconds left to take, you know, the 21-17 lead into half. And then from there, we thought, you know, we came out, went in the middle 8. Offense started with the ball and kicked a field goal to extend the lead to 24-17. And then a big moment in the game was getting the one turnover and not converting on 4th and inch from the logo. Then FAM extended the lead to 10. Now offense obviously scored quick, and we got an onside kick opportunity, managed the game well, and got an opportunity to get 2 chunk plays and a Hail Mary attempt, and they ended up finishing. So my hat goes off to Coach Coley and FAM. And like I said, we were fighting, but we didn't obviously finish.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach.
Thank you.
For questions, if you do have a question, please utilize your raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. Floor is now open for questions for Coach Woody with Bethune-Cookman. All right, first question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach Woody.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Daniels.
Man, it's another exciting classic. Once again, Bethune-Cookman comes up a little short here. Recap the season for us, Coach, and your seniors and their impact on your program.
Well, you know, our season has been obviously, you know, we started out slow and we didn't end where we wanted to end. But, you know, the seniors that, you know, I've inherited, you know, over 22, a lot of the guys, you know, we didn't have a chance to spend a whole lot of time with. But my hat goes off to them. You know, they stuck with it, you know, with everything going on with the transfer report and what have you. These guys stuck with it, and they're a better man from there. And we played a lot of young guys, you know, this year. And I think our seniors, they understand, the ones that's leaving, what we're trying to do and where we're trying to go, you know. So we're excited about, you know, going into the off season. Obviously, we want to finish, you know, with a win. That didn't happen. But you know, the guys are doing things that we want them to do, you know, and that's starting to have a player-led team instead of telling them every little thing that we expect.
And Coach, you had a workhorse this past week. Dennis Palmer, 37 carries, 178 yards, 3 touchdowns. Talk about him, that game, and how he was so productive.
Well, he's progressed throughout the season. Obviously, he's a high school kid that came in during the summer. And what we tell the guys all the time, don't matter what classification you are, we're bringing guys in to play. We're bringing guys in to take your job. And he's the type of guy, he was the only freshman in the room with several seniors. And we're proud of him progressing to the student athlete he is, and he has those intangibles. I mean, he come to work and go to work, and we fed him the ball, and he did what we thought he was going to do with the ball.
And Malik Huggins, coach, 7 receptions, 177 yards receiving. Talk about his impact on the game.
Well, getting him, obviously he's from my neck of the woods. He's a guy that you put the ball in his hands on special teams. He's starting to come in his own little way at the receiver spot, but his light at the end of the tunnel is very bright, and we feel like him finishing the year like he did, we're expecting big things from him going into the spring.
Thank you, sir. Good luck, coach.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing today?
Good morning, Doc.
Doing good. You gave up 305 rushing yards to FAMU on Saturday. What are some things you want to try to do to implement for your program next season to kind of curtail that stat right there and trying to get it back down low?
Well, actually, we have to stop the run. We got to make sure, because, like Coach Cozy said in one of his interviews, they wanted to run the ball, and they got some dynamic bikes. And once your eyes go in the wrong direction, those guys got those type of bikes that, they get to the second level, they can take it the distance. So we got to make sure that we're playing discipline with our eyes, we're fitting our gaps, and running to the ball, because especially if a guy missed, you got to have somebody rattling to the ball, especially against those type of guys. Or in any situation, we just got to do better up front. We got to do better with our linebackers, being able to see and identify, tendencies, formation, so they can play fast, get there before they even get started.
And my follow-up question is 3 positions that you're looking to improve on for the offseason.
I would say I definitely would say our linebacker, a defensive end, and then up front offensive tackle.
All right, appreciate your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Next question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone in Daytona are well. As you look back at the Classic, what are some of the things you're proud about moving forward?
Well, the guys fought. I mean, they fought. Obviously it was back and forth game. Those guys, they don't fear anyone. When we line up, we come to work and go to work. And I just like to fight in this football team. We add a couple more key components. It's going to really help us going into the spring and then, this coming up season.
Hey, Coach, the quarterback, CJ Brooks, he didn't get an opportunity to play Orlando. He played at VUL against the SWAC and the MEAC. Can you talk about his development and what you see in CJ and if he'll get to play?
Well, I tell you what, he's going to definitely get an opportunity to compete this spring. Been having started our evaluation meetings, our exit meetings, with the players yesterday, and he was one of the ones that we spoke with and said, hey, you know what, that position going to be wide open. He came in so late during the summer. During the summer, obviously, you got a player-led team going on, and you don't get an opportunity to go out there and coach him. But we saw on the look team that he did some things that we was like, wow, he's smart, he understands coverages, and he has his better days are ahead of him. So he'll get an opportunity to compete this spring, and he's ready.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Final questions for Coach. Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. We definitely appreciate your time on these calls throughout the season, and we look forward to speaking with you again at Media Day.
Look forward to speaking with you all as well. I want to say good luck to Jackson State, Coach, representing the SWAC, and then the ones who have games this week. Good luck.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, we now move over to Florida A&M. Coach James Colsey, once again, if you do have questions for our coaches, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Colsey with Florida A&M. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, how you doing, fellas?
Doing great, Coach. Doing great, and appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule to join us. Coach, if you could please start us out with an opening statement recapping your team's most recent outing versus Bethune-Cookman.
I thought great football game. If you got a chance to be there, you saw a lot of excitement. Games going back and forth, but too many damn points to my liking. Obviously entertaining football game. You get yourself into a rivalry game. You saw punt returns, touchdowns. You saw big defensive plays at crucial times. But hats off, Coach Woody and his staff, man. They came in ready to play. Came in with a specific game plan, and in my opinion, thought they executed to the best of their ability. I guess the three point difference. We had a guy make 2 field goals. They had a guy that missed one, so that kind of put us over the top. But obviously, internally, the change that we made offensively, we finally looked like the offense that I thought we would have, throughout the year. And we wanted to run the football. Thought we had a pretty good advantage of running the football, and obviously we got over almost 300 yards doing so. So, that's what I want our team to look like. Thought we did a good job with that. We just got to show up some things on our hidden yardage in regards to special teams, and this is the 3rd week in a row that we've given up a pass, probably almost over 60 yards. So, got some things to show up. We got one more game to do so. And Alabama A&M comes in as one of the best offenses and one of the hottest football teams in our conference right now. As they make their way here Friday afternoon for the makeup game that we had because of the Hurricane Helene.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to James Hill. First question.
Hey, good morning, Coach. James Hill with James Hill Sports. As you think about that, can you hear me, Coach?
Say it again.
Okay, it's James Hill with James Hill Sports. As you think about the classic victory and just taking over a program with high hopes and expectations, talk about what you were able to get done and what you see so far.
Well, you're always, you're hearing about how some of the other coaches may have done in their first classic, et cetera, et cetera. But I think for the most part, just our team winning the football game. We had 2 tough losses that didn't necessarily sit well around here. 2 teams that we, in most people's eyes, we probably should have beaten. We did not. But I think for us, it just gave us an opportunity to get on the field, to get a win against a rivalry. So it was a collective where a lot of the things that we needed, we got done. Obviously internally, just changing who our play caller would be. There was a lot of questionable. How good will we be? And so looks like we made a good decision as far as what we did this past weekend. Our offensive line really, really took it upon themselves to say, hey, we're going to be the ones that are going to help us win the football game. They did so, but again, the classic, the Bethune-Cookman FAMU rivalry, for the most part, when you win, when you're the winner of that rivalry, I think I mentioned this Saturday, but when you're the winner of that rivalry, your tenure at your particular university goes a lot smoother as well. So, it was an important win for us, just because of us having our 2 consecutive losses, but also an important win for us because having the chance to beat our rival.
Coach, a big game coming up this week, quick turnaround a day earlier, but what's the thought process? And they're a very good team. What are you seeing from that club?
Well, we had to we practiced morning. We got the guys back yesterday. Work when Alabama A&M's hot. They've been kind of playing. To me, they've been playing too good of football right now. The winners of, I think, want to say 3 straight. But offensively, they're going to pose some problems. And defensively, they're as scrappy as any team that we've seen throughout the conference. So Coach Manley got them rolling pretty good. 2 6-5 teams looking to finish 7-5. We got the luxury that we get a chance to play it at home and don't have to necessarily have to, that day before, right? That extra day that we'll get to prepare while they have to use that day to travel. Hopefully we can take advantage of that.
Thank you, sir. Have a great week.
I appreciate you.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Coach Colesy, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well, Doc. What's going on?
I'm doing good. I got a question. It's a quote. It says, "You are what your record says you are." Can you elaborate on that? Being with your team,
6-5. We're trying to figure out what type of team we were in the beginning of the year, what we needed to fix, what we were hoping to fix. I think some of the things that we were worried about in the beginning of the year kind of trickled into some of our losses that we've had, over the last 2 or 3 weeks. But I would say a team that's had some perseverance, maybe went through a little adversity, but that's where we are, right? We won 6, we lost 5. 2 of the 5 were against University of Miami and Troy, 2 FBS opponents. But I think at times we played well, and at times we did not play well. So when you balance that sucker out, I mean, we were a little bit above average, and 6-5 is a little bit above average, right? So we got some things that obviously I think we need to make sure we take care of in the offseason, recruiting wise, discipline wise, and trust me, those things will be addressed. But I think that we are what our record is. Well, we played well at times, and we didn't play well, and ultimately in some crucial times that affected us.
Thank you, Coach. You have a good one.
Appreciate you.
Next question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How you doing?
Super fantastic. How are you?
Yeah, another day. It got cold. It's cold in Tallahassee today, so people don't know how to act.
Coach, your team seemed to start the season with an offensive emphasis on passing, and you were very productive in the Classic with running the ball. Is this going to be the makeup of the team or the strategy of the team moving forward? Will the Florida A&M Rattlers be a run-based, run-first football program?
Well, I think, my philosophy for itself, I want to be able to run football, play good defense, and be extremely solid in our special teams, right? We come in earlier in the year, you don't know what kind of football team we had just because of a lot of the influx of guys we brought in, technically in the summer. And, obviously you bring a guy in, the quarterback wise, who had thrown for over 7,000 yards in his FBS experience, right? So, you're trying to figure out who we are and where we are. You go back to those first 2 games, we were behind. Right, we were behind in those couple games, and so we had to throw the football to try to get to catch up and then ultimately win those football games. But for us to be successful, right? We got to even in Coach Simmons's his tenure, right? When we were throwing the ball up and down the field, we were still a very, very good team that could run the football. So I'm a firm believer. You run the football, you stop the run, you always give yourself an opportunity. But if you can rush for over 300 yards, you put yourself in a very, very good spot to win football games. So, run the ball, play great defense, be great on special teams. You'll always be in football games, right? But we do have that side of the field on offense. We also have the ability to have explosive receivers. So we run the ball well, and then we can start getting some defenses to start playing our really, really good receivers one-on-one. You put yourself in a good spot. But I always want to be a football team that runs the ball well, and even over the last 3 or 4 weeks, we've kind of been in that situation. So again, just taking a stranglehold of what I want to see offensively, and it just came full circle this past Saturday.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
I appreciate it. That's a great question, man.
Last question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, there are some Rattlers who are playing in the NFL on Sundays. When you think about a gentleman like Kendall Bowler and his skill sets and what he can bring to the table, so to speak, can you talk a little bit about SWAC guys and FAMU guys who deserve an opportunity, a look to play on a Sunday?
You know, you get a chance to watch these teams play. You know, they're not just who we play against, but you spend your Sundays and your Mondays looking at other teams play against each other, right? Just by looking at film, right? And then you watch them on film, and then you see them have to struggle to get to these positions and get to these opportunities. But then once they get the opportunities, they flourish, right? Every NFL team has been here. Every NFL team has been here, and some more than twice, and some even more than 3 times, just to take a look at the Kendall Bowlers and the Jamari Gassets and you know of our football team. You know, I've coached a long time. Put a few guys in the NFL, put a few guys in the CFL. I think I'm up into about 21 as far as professional players that have made it to professional football. Kendall Bowlers is about as close to a guy that deserves that opportunity to play, right? You know, but he's done a great job off the field. He's a graduate already, class act. You know, there are some things that at the NFL level he will have to be able to do, but all of those guys before they get to the NFL have to be able to do certain things to play in the NFL. But yeah, I was watching the Rams play last night. Xavier Smith was kicking, he was returning kicks, but he was also working as a sniper, right? As a sniper bullet on the punt team, you know. And then somebody was like, how did he transition to be able to do that? Well, Xavier Smith used to practice that every day when he was here at Florida A&M, just not knowing that he may have that opportunity, right? So there's quality players in this conference. There's very, very good players in this conference, and there's pro level players in this conference. And we're going to end up facing a pro level player this weekend. We got Big Vincent that we have to go against this upcoming Friday. But Kendall Bowler is a professional football player. He's a professional football player, and he deserves every right to go to whatever bowl games they decide to let him go to, let him perform against some of these players that are in that Power 4 FBS level, and he'll shine because he's a damn good football player. So, you know, you hate to have to pitch this, but you know, again, every NFL team has come in to see him, and every NFL team has left, right, saying that he checks all the boxes. So hopefully, as you go through the process, all those boxes are checked, and his name's called like it properly should be, whenever draft day may be.
All right, Coach. Have a great week, a great holiday, and a great game.
Same to everybody.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Definitely appreciate your time throughout the course of this season, and we look forward to speaking to you again at Media Day.
I appreciate you guys, and good luck to everybody at the end of the season, and good luck to both coaches in the SWAC championship game.
Appreciate it, Coach. All right, we are attempting potentially to get Coach Joseph, but we may have an alternate. Good morning, Curtis.
Good morning, Andrew. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Do you think it could be possible potentially to get Coach or maybe a member of the staff a little bit later on the call, maybe at around 12 o'clock?
Absolutely, absolutely. Right now, Coach is doing he's on stage at the Bayou Classic press conference. So he's aware of the call. You know, he's going to hop on as soon as he gets off the stage.
Okay, Curtis, we definitely appreciate you just taking a minute to log in and give us that update, and we look forward to speaking to Coach later in the call.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, so we are going to pause here momentarily. I do want to give the media members that would like to speak with Coach Hampton with Arkansas Pine Bluff an opportunity to log on if there are any additional media that will be joining us. So we will return for Coach Hampton's availability at approximately 11:05 a.m. Appreciate your patience. We'll be back momentarily. Once again, for all of our media participants that are joining us on the call, if you do have any questions for our head coaches, we ask that you please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. Please limit your questions to one initial question. If there are several questions there in the queue, if we do have additional time allotted, feel free to re-raise your hand to get additional questions answered. All right, next up, we will be joined by Coach Lonzo Hampton with Arkansas Pine Bluff. Once again, for our media, please use the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Hampton with Arkansas Pine Bluff. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, as always, appreciate you take some time out of your schedule to join us. If you could start us out with an opening statement recapping your most recent outing versus Texas Southern.
Obviously, it was senior day. We had 12, 13 seniors that we recognized, and just, tipping our cap to them for what they meant to this program. Some been here 2 years, some been here three years, and obviously had family in town. Felt good about the game, matched up pretty well with them, and the game started. And it was a good defensive battle early in the game, and we couldn't move the ball much. They couldn't move it, and obviously they scored first. And we get to the second quarter, they're going down to score, and we get a turnover, interception. Our D lineman running back, I don't know, 70-something yards. It was pretty cool to see the young man do it. Actually, a 75-yard return, a D lineman. And so it's 7-7 right before half. The next play, we kick off, we get an interception, and then we go right before half, and we kick a 52-yard field goal. So we're up 10-7. Momentum's on our side, and we're feeling good about ourselves. We get the ball after half. We talk about winning the middle eight. We come out, we get the ball first in the first play. We throw an interception. Their defensive back made a good play. Our guy should have came a little flat on the route. We held him to a field goal, make it 10-10. Then we go down and we kick a field goal. We're up 13-10. And then the season happens. They run a basic play, unbalanced formation. Linebacker turns his shoulder, get kicked out, and the guy goes 75 yards. And they up 17-13. We get the ball back. We don't score. And then we get them to 3rd and 9 in the red zone. They're probably going to kick a field goal. We have a call, another critical error. And 3rd and 9, the guy just goes up over the top of our guy and takes the ball from him for a touchdown, 21-yard. Scores 24-13. We get a field goal, I think, in the fourth quarter, make it 24-16. And they end up winning the game 31-23. So congrats to Coach at Texas Southern, man. He did a good job with the guys, and they played hard, and they deserve to win.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Tanner Spearman.
Good morning, Coach. Wrapping up your second season here at UAPB, when you look at the program today, how do you think where it is today compares to where you guys were at the end of your first year?
Well, man, we've made tremendous improvements, but for me as a competitor, it's not good enough. I look back at it. Tennessee State, me and Coach Eddie George talks all the time. He's one of my good friends. And my wife is joking. I got two guys that I talk to all the time that won the Heisman Trophy, him and Charlie Ward. And but that was a game that we thought we could have won. They beat us 28-41. Then you go to Alcorn, and you're up 14-0. Then we have a critical error, and they come back. It's 14-14.5. So we felt we could have won that game, beat Prairie View. Go to Grambling. The score is, I think, tied at half. It's tied in the fourth quarter. They beat us by 10, but they scored a touchdown with like a minute left in the game after the game was already decided. Then we got Mississippi Valley. We win that game by 14. They're a really good football team. I said it when we beat them. They were going to win a game or multiple games. Then we go to Jackson State. That's just they were the better team. They beat us. And Alabama A&M, it was back and forth for the first quarter and a half. They couldn't stop us. We couldn't stop them. And then we start turning the ball over. They had 3. We had 3. The only difference is they capitalized on them. And then we go down to Southern. We were up 6-0, should have been up 14-0. They did a good job on defense. It's 14-6 at half. We get the ball coming out at half. We have to punt it after we get the ball on the 40. And then you turn around, we turn the ball over. And back-to-back plays, we turn it over on offense possessions, and they win. I think it was 31-9 or whatever. So we're in every game with the exception of Arkansas and Jackson State. And so you asked me where the program is, we're better, but we got to be way better. Offensive line, defensive line, we didn't get any sacks. We couldn't get any pressure on the quarterback. We couldn't knock people off the ball on 4th down too many times. And we're having to play perfect games. And so we made improvements in winning and competitive, but we got to get over the top. Next year, as I told the coaches, man, we got to evaluate everything about this program and see what we need to do to get better and to be able to compete for the SWAC championship. We're close, but yet you're far because everybody's looking for the same thing.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Next question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everybody in Pine Bluff are well. The opportunity to help leave an impression on young men's lives through the game of football. Those gentlemen will graduate and have a degree, and they are able to play some football. Talk a little bit about being able to provide that avenue, if you will, for young men, and they can become very successful.
I think maybe some people don't know, but I'm a school teacher by trade. I have a teaching license. I'm a licensed minister. Those are two things that I'm passionate about, helping and serving. And so what I want to do with this program is take a group of young men and make them understand that we're better as one. And it's going to be some times in life that you don't get what you want. But those men that come in our program, we want them to understand that we're a family. And when you leave this place, you got more people that you're going to be able to rely on to get you to the next level. Even though the season didn't turn out the way we wanted to, we've all grown as coaches, as players, as a support staff, as administration, and we're all going towards the same direction. We want a team that's have high character and guys that can go out in the community that you be proud of, and then they become great husbands, fathers, and great citizens within their community that people look up to. And this is what this program is going to be built on as long as I'm the head coach. You want to win games, you want to win them at a high level. It's not one person on this call more competitive than me. We're all competitive, and I hate to lose. And sometimes, man, it gets me in trouble because I don't get very much sleep because I know what it requires to win. I've been blessed to coach at the Power 5 level multiple times, and this is a job I prayed for. And I wanted it because I know what it could be, what it could become. But it hasn't came as fast as I wanted to. But we got to continue to look at the man in the mirror. And as I tell people, I treat every young man in this program like my son. And so I'm thankful that I'm going to finally be able to get an opportunity to go watch Clemson play this week. He's the starting corner as a freshman. So, man, God has been good to me. And so what I want to do every morning, I wake up and I walk in this building, I want those young men to look at me and say, you know what? I want to be like Coach Hampton. I want to be like these coaches that he's surrounded us with. I want to be great men in the community and lead people to live better lives. So that's what I strive to do every day. And until they glue the tongue to the roof of my mouth, that's what I'm always be doing. I'm always be smiling.
Thank you, sir. Continued success.
Bless you, sir.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing today?
Doing great.
On Friday, there was a report as far as with ESPN that came out about what had happened on October the 31st between Jackson State and Pine Bluff. What are the things that you're trying to implement as far as for that not to happen again on your watch?
Obviously, for us, when you say on our watch, we realized our system was compromised. Obviously, I had coaching changes in the summertime. The guy that was running our video, and we did not get those young men removed from the DV sports system. And so obviously, someone used his account to log in and watch film. And obviously, like I said, everybody knows it's illegal to share your credentials. That's the law. You can't share your email password. And they're saying that he said he didn't do it. Well, somebody logged in on that account. And like I said, I'm not the judge nor the jury. As far as what I'm going to do is we lock the system up. And as soon as the season's over with, we remove guys that are no longer with the program. And obviously, we had 2 gentlemen that we had removed from the team, and they still had access to it because I brought in another video coordinator, and it was just an honest mistake. But you know what? As a first-time head coach, hey, that's on me, okay? I didn't get it done, okay? But at the end of the day, just because somebody leaves their door open, do you walk in their house and take something from them? And I wasn't raised that way. So I don't know. I'm not saying anybody did anything wrong. I'm just saying our system was compromised and somebody logged in and somebody watched the film. That's what it says. So that's my comment on that.
All right, thank you. You have a good one, Coach.
You as well.
Next question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Morning, sir.
All right, Coach. Let's dig into this a little bit more, okay? You lost 2 games this season. That soundly, one was to the University of Arkansas and one to Jackson State. How much of an impact did the compromise on your video system play in the outcome of the Jackson State game?
All right, let me say this for the last time. Jackson State football program is the best, in my opinion. They have a really, really good football team, okay? I don't think they needed to do anything if they did. I'm not saying they did. I'm telling you right now, T.C. Taylor football program, what he's done, those student athletes are really good football players. They were better than us, okay? So let's get that out of the way. Let's just let this thing go away, okay? They're the better team. That's why they're undefeated in the SWAC, okay? And if they take care of business, they're going to have an opportunity to win it all. Celebration Bowl, SWAC championship. They're a good football team, okay? We just made a mistake on our end. I made a mistake. I didn't get the information to my new coach, my video coordinator when he came in, all right? So let's remove the guys. And so what we try to do, we talk about HBCUs and how much we love each other. And we want to give our kids the opportunity to move on to the next level. And so sometimes you leave them on the systems a little longer so they can get the film that they need, right? And that's what we try to do. We try to promote us, okay? And so what happened is somehow our information got out. And it's weird. It just happened that game and didn't happen any other game. That was the only time it had happened. And but Jackson State don't need to take anybody's film, in my opinion, because they're the better team. And I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. They got 2 players on that team that I coached at University of Louisiana Monroe, the starting corner, Wiggins, and the starting O-lineman, Evan Henry, Anil. I mean, those are 2 good football players that played for us at Monroe. So, man, those guys do a great job. I don't know TC personally. I just see him when we do stuff. So, man, my hat's off to him. I hope he go win it all. I hope Coach Graves win it all. And like I said, so, man, I hope this is said and done. I'm thankful that I'm the head coach at University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. I'm thankful I get a chance to lead this football team. And I'm so thankful that I get a chance to go watch my son play at Clemson on Saturday when they play the University of South Carolina.
Coach, thank you. It is great to see a leader accept the responsibility for the things that he could control and leave everything else aside. Appreciate that.
Appreciate you.
Last question goes to Kelly.
Is that me, Andrew? Because you called me Kelly, so I'm gonna assume that's me.
Yeah, you changed your name on me. It says K. Kelly, so I wasn't sure if that was.
I did. I switched computers. Sorry.
Yeah.
So,
Kelly.
okay. So, Coach Hampton, you're getting to go watch your son play at Clemson. Fun question. What are y'all gonna eat when you get out there after this game? What are y'all gonna go eat?
It's funny that you say that because I don't really eat a lot. I probably need to. And I told Coach Dishman, man, I want to look like Coach Dishman when I grow up. Man, that joker still look like he could play. No, I want some fried turkey legs. And I just want to be able to enjoy my family. It's been a tough season. It's been a challenging season, but it's also been a rewarding season. So I'm just looking. I'm excited about being able to see this joker play. I've been coaching him my entire life, and anybody that knows me know I'm a defensive back guy. So man, just to watch him make the plays that he's been able to make, to be in a program like Clemson University, where God is at the forefront. So it says that we've done the right things by him, and so now God's rewarding him. I told my team early in the season, man, that joker was disappointed. He played in every game as a true freshman, but he was mad, talking about, hey, I ain't playing enough. I said, man, go earn it. Stop whining. We don't whine in our house, okay? We don't make excuses for anything. When somebody beat us, they beat us, okay? At the end of the day, we put our pants on just like they do. So he's earned the right to start, and so I'm excited to watch him play, and his best days are yet ahead of him.
Coach Hampton, don't be on the side over there trying to coach him and embarrassing him now.
Hey, well, his mom she's a lot worse than me. I can
Oh,
promise.
never mind. Have a safe trip.
Yep, you too. Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you.
Coach Hampton, we sincerely appreciate your time throughout the duration of these calls throughout the season, and we look forward to speaking with you at Media Day.
Andrew, man, I always appreciate you, brother, because we started here together. So continued blessings to everybody on the call. Congratulations to the teams that still got to go play. Good luck to Coach TC. Good luck to Coach Gray. I'm going to be watching the game. And, man, let's go and win this Celebration Bowl, whoever comes out on top.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Coach.
God bless.
Sure. All right. We are attempting to reach Coach Wade with Mississippi Valley State. He's had some technical issues that he's working through. So as soon as we're able to make contact with him, we will have him join us on the call. For now, we'll pause momentarily. Appreciate your patience. Joining us at approximately 11:25 will be Coach Ashton Green. He'll be filling in. He was the interim coach now there at Prairie View for Coach Bubba McDowell. So Coach Green will join us. Looks like we will actually move Coach Wade's availability to after Coach TC Taylor with Jackson State as soon as we're able to get him connected. So we'll pause here for a few minutes and we'll be back with Coach Ashton Green with Prairie View A&M. Thank you for your patience. All right, once again, for our media participants, if you have questions, please utilize raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. Please limit your question to initial question, potentially a follow-up. If we do have additional questions in the queue, if we do have additional questions in the queue, please limit them to one initial question. Feel free to raise your hand to get additional questions answered. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Green with Prairie View A&M. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing great, Coach, and appreciate you stepping in to join us on the call. Coach, if you could please start us out with an opening statement, just recapping the team's most recent outing at Alabama State.
And we went down to Montgomery, Alabama, and it was a defensive battle for 4 quarters of football. Came down to the last possession for us, and we were unable to get it done to the sack and a fumble late. But, man, it was a great defensive game, and our defensive staff put together a great plan, and their defensive staff also. I think that Coach Robinson and Coach Lewis over there do a great job of having those guys ready to play and taking advantage of what other teams give them. It's a great atmosphere down there, and we were able to put together something that I think we can build on as far as a conference and everything in that magnitude. Man, the defensive football that we saw is probably some of the best that we've seen all season. So, man, offensively, we needed to do better. We needed to put the ball in the end zone and had opportunities to do it, just wasn't able to get it done.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach Green, I hope all is well. Can you talk a little bit about taking over that program and just getting it to the next level? And I know it's a step-by-step process. You know what success looks like from Grambling, from basically your entire career, but just talk a little bit about being the guy now.
Well, I'm just the interim head coach, and I keep getting all these congratulations text messages from the people that's outside of understanding of football. I'm just the interim head coach, and I'm not the guy yet. Don't know if that's in the future. I'm just the interim, so I'm here holding the seat until the next guy comes. Just keeping it warm and making sure the day-to-day operations are continuing to go on, making sure that these student athletes have somebody to call, somebody to depend on if things aren't going right here on campus, and making sure that the program has a figurehead at this moment. So, man, I'm not the head coach at this time, but I think that this program is trending in the right direction, and it's had success over the last 5 years, some of the best it's had in program history. Talking about winning the SWAC West, being co-champs of the SWAC West the past 3 years, or 3 of the last 4 years, excuse me, and then going to the SWAC championship 2 times. I think that's some of the most success it's had in a long time. But the program is trending in the right direction, and the next guy that comes in here, the leadership needs to mirror that. It's going to mirror that and continue to go forward.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Coach Green, how you doing today?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Tell me what it was like to be on the staff with Coach McDowell. And my second question: have you put your name in a hat for head coach position?
The names that go in the head coach position are not at my discretion to speak about, man. That is the athletic directors. So you need to direct those questions to him. But, man, Coach McDowell's a great guy. You guys had the luxury of being here with him on this media call every week. So, man, you know what type of person he is, man. He's a very humble guy. But his leadership rings through us as a staff, man. He continued to harp on us, and he allows you to coach the way you coach. He brought us here for a reason, and unfortunately, I feel like we let him down. We needed to do better, and we didn't, and that's why we're in this situation. But a great guy, humble guy, and a guy that has a lot of knowledge of what goes on around here, and he was a Prairie View guy. He's been here a long time.
My follow-up question is, what 3 main positions are you going to be looking for in the off season?
Well, to answer that, man, you'd have to ask whoever the head coach is. I'm not the guy, but of course you have to. Your quarterback was a senior, so you need to start there, man. That's the most important position in football. So, of course, whoever coming in next, there's some quarterbacks here, and they're going to be pushing for the job. Both of them had the opportunity to play, So I know those two guys will be the ones that will try to push for the job. So I think that's where you start at any time. And then just like every other coach on this call that's going to get asked a similar question or that exact question, it starts up front, man. O-line, D-line, man, you got to beef up those big boys up front. That's why the teams that are winning are where they are right now, because their offensive line and their defensive lines are playing really, really good football, and they're dominating the line of scrimmage.
I appreciate the time, Coach.
Appreciate you, brother.
Currently taking questions for Coach Green with Purview A&M. Next question goes to Dwayne Nash.
Good morning, Coach Green. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
I'm doing well as I'm going to be.
Now, I hope I'm not going to ask a difficult question here. Like you said earlier, that you felt as though that the team was going into a good direction. Unfortunately, the program fell under 500 this season for like the first time in a few years. What do you feel as though outside of winning games that the program could have done better in order to avoid you guys going into this direction?
I think that everything revolves around your recruiting process. I think that we've done a great job going out and getting players. And one thing we had to make sure is that people fit. People fit what was going on. So that's something that's going forward that needs to happen at every program, making sure people fit your program, making sure that those student athletes that you bring in understand your culture, understand your way of doing things, understand how it needs to be done, because every university and every program is different. Understanding those things are a big deal when you're recruiting a kid, because those kids can play. All of them can play. We know they have the athletic ability. It's just the simple understanding of this is how we do things. This is how we're going to get them done. This is how we're going to have everything to happen. And at the end of the day, man, it comes down to discipline. I heard Coach talk about it earlier. Discipline, 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 discipline. Yeah, disciplined football teams win football games. They don't make mistakes when it's critical, crunch time situations. When they're disciplined, you can depend on them to do what they're supposed to do at all times.
And again, I'm harking back on your statement in terms of the team heading to a good direction. Again, I'm in agreement with you on that. Outside of discipline, what else do you feel as though led, well, outside of losing as well, led leadership to go into a completely different direction, even though you yourself feel as though that the program is going into a good direction?
The question is you're asking me, man, I think you need to direct it to the statement that the athletic director made.
Okay.
I think that he kind of ironed it out to what it needed to be. It was a decision that was made by them. And I think that no matter who the head coach is, the administration has this program going in the proper way. They are taking the proper steps to put this program into the limelight and try to move this program to FCS football. I'm talking about a program that at one time wasn't the greatest, and now it's on the up and up, and things are improving. So I think that administration does those things. And man, he has an email. Ask the AD, man. If you want to ask any questions, man, please email him and ask those questions that you're asking me, that he can answer 100% better than I can.
All right. Thanks so much, Coach. Enjoy your
you.
Thanksgiving.
Next question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm super fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I get it. Coach, was there a disconnect between the players recruited by this staff and the culture that this staff wanted to create?
No. If that statement sounded like that earlier, that wasn't the case. That was a broad statement. I think that the guys that came in understood the culture that was at hand. Understood that we were coming off of a SWAC West championship, and there was one thing that we were trying to do: get back to the championship game, win the championship game, and get to the Celebration Bowl and win the Celebration Bowl. That was clearly conveyed to everyone across the recruiting aspect of it. So that's the answer to that question.
And from your perspective, Coach, has college athletics crossed a dangerous threshold when a program that on most accounts has been successful and is 1 year removed from their conference championship relieves their head coach of his duties?
I tell you this, this isn't the first time this is going to happen, and I'm almost 100% sure this won't be the last time this has happened. I think that the people that are in jobs, losing jobs, keeping jobs, there has to be understanding that it's a year-to-year deal. Coach I had a long time ago told me it's year to year, man. You work at will state, and they make the decision to hire and fire you as things are going. And success is something that you have to continue working. I think that at times we do have a microwave effect that we think is supposed to happen right now. And building a program at times is hard. And you have to continue to build it and continue to trend in the proper direction and show strides as you go forward.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Last question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach Green, to get an opportunity at Prairie View as the interim head coach, what is it like so far? And I know it's holding things down, but what is it like to be the coach there? Yes, interim, but what is it like to have that responsibility and try to move this thing forward during this period of time?
Well, it hasn't even been 24 hours yet that I've been the interim head coach. I think that the first thing first is you got to talk to the players, and that's the first thing we've done this morning is met with those guys and explain to them what happened and where the program is trying to go, because we are here for the student athletes. We're not here for anything else. Without them, we wouldn't have a job, no matter how it's cut. So, man, I think that getting those guys to understand everything that's going on and having the communication factor with them is growing, and it's knowing what's going on. And I wish I was here another couple of days so I can answer that question better, but it's like being here after a rough patch in life. We're sitting here and we're trying to figure out what's next. So, man, we are trying to circle the wagons, make sure our student athletes finish up strong in the classroom. That's number one. No matter what goes on, the next person coming here wants to walk in here with a clean slate and some guys that have been to class and are eligible. So we want to make sure that our guys are eligible and our guys are going to the classroom and finishing up strong there and beginning the process of 2025 and making sure everything's lined up and everything's in order.
Thank you, Coach. Have a blessed holiday.
Thank you.
Coach Green, we sincerely appreciate you taking some time to jump on this call, and we hope you have a great offseason.
Hey, man, appreciate you, man. You do a wonderful job. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Appreciate you.
All right, we are going to next speak with Coach Mark Frederick with Southern University. Once again, for our media participants, if you do have a question for our coaches, please utilize the raise your hand feature. Coach Frederick, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you doing?
You're great, Coach, and appreciate you taking some time to fill in for Coach Graves. Coach, obviously this past week for the Jaguars, a bye week as you prepare for the annual Bayou Classic. If you could, just start us out with an opening statement recapping your team's last week of preparation.
Really, this past week, man, we worked on us, trying to get the guys healthy. Guys had some time to clean up some classroom stuff and get caught up, with the academics. And we just really got guys healthy, worked on us, on the fundamentals and getting ready for the Bayou Classic.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Keisha Kelly.
Hey, Coach. Happy Bayou Classic week.
Thank you. How you doing, Keisha?
I'm good. I'll see y'all this weekend. Going into Bayou Classic week, we know that the Jaguars have won the West, but we also know that this is a rival, 51 years. And so we know that when it comes to rivals, we know that those records go out the window. And we know that Grambling is going to come in playing hard. We know Coach going to have them ready. Is there anything that concerns Coach Graves, or I'm going to say staff, period, with those Grambling State Tigers that y'all are completely focused on?
Well, to be honest, Keisha, they got a good team. I'm on the offensive side, so I get to watch their defense, and I think Coach Rollins is doing a good job with their defensive football team over there. I think Coach Joseph got them guys trending. They playing hard. They got some good players on defense. That number 6 is gonna be a handful. And we're gonna have to make sure we got a hat on him on every play. And I think offensively, they got some playmakers. They got Miles Crawley. They got another quarterback, I think, comes in and plays well for them. They got some athletes. They got some skill guys. So we just got to be locked in, stay focused, and have the guys ready to go.
All right. Well, good luck this weekend to both teams, and I'll see y'all in New Orleans.
Okay, be safe.
Thank you.
Next question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everybody on campus are well. Can you talk a little bit about the Bayou Classic and what it means to you personally, being able to coach in it as an offensive coordinator, and then just the history of it with Coach Richardson and Coach Rob and all the great gentlemen who've been a part of it and players?
Oh, man. It's one of the biggest rivalries, I think, around. It's an in-state rivalry. Everybody call it the granddaddy of them all. Having a chance to play in it under Coach Richardson. I think he was the only coach to never lose to Coach Robinson, if I'm not mistaken. So coming up under that tutelage and, working with Coach Graves here and, being a part of the staff in the past, and now I'm back. It's a big game. There's an in-state rivalry, recruiting battles, house divided families, it's just a whole big deal for the state. Coach Graves called it the state championship. So we're going to prepare for it. We're going to be ready to go.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Next question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Man, let's talk about Jalen Woods, man, and his development over the season. You, as the offensive coordinator, have had a front row seat of this and a big hand in this development. Talk about that.
Man, I think Coach Totten is doing a great job with all of the quarterbacks. Had a chance to come in, watch all of the guys in the spring, just watch them go through the season. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of like still learning each quarterback. Each one of them brings something different to the table, but you got to tailor your offense to, who's ever in the game at the moment. So just going through the season with them and just keeping them focused and keeping them locked in, it's been exciting.
And Coach, there is a lot of Southern ties to that school from the North, with their current defensive coordinator, Coach Rollins, previously having served on the staff there at Southern and being the interim head coach. And of course, Coach Dooley, who is their current offense coordinator, just recently being the former head coach at Southern. Talk about that aspect of this game and those dynamics.
I don't think it really matters who's the coach. This game is huge, man, but knowing Coach Rollins, being able to play for Coach Dooley and work with Coach Dooley, I know they're going to have their guys fired up and ready to go. So we just got to stay focused, man. We got to bring our guys into the game, have them understand what's at stake, and just be ready to play. So I don't really think, whoever the coach is matters. The records go out the window when it's time for the Bayou Classic. So it's going to be a great game.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Currently taking questions for Coach Frederick with Southern University. Next question goes to Dwayne Nash.
Good morning, Coach Frederick. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing okay. You guys are kind of in an interesting situation here. You're going into a rivalry matchup. Matter of fact, a big-time rivalry matchup, your biggest for the program. But the following week, you have a championship game. I know that it's one game at a time. How do you keep your players focused on the subject matter at hand, which is the Bayou Classic, and not have them think forward to the title game, and that's going to be the week after?
In the words of our head coach, we live in the precious present. So we're not looking ahead. We're not looking past no one. The game at hand this week is Grambling State. So let's go 1-0, and that's what our focus is.
All right. Thanks so much, Coach.
You're welcome.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing today?
Good morning. I'm well. How about you?
I'm doing good. I think Dwayne stole my question from just now, but it's all right. I want to know how will you be able to implement your running game against this Grambling defense that's led by Andrew Jones, who pretty much is a tackling machine. What is the things you want to try to do, or some wrinkles to implement for your running game to feature your running backs and stuff?
Well, I don't think I'm gonna be able to give you the game plan, so Coach Rollins and Coach Joseph and them will be ready for me. But we're gonna try to establish the run. You know, going against that defense is one of the top run defenses in the SWAC, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, they got some great players over there. They got some D linemen and linebackers that really get out to the run pretty good. So we got to figure out how to get a hat on a hat. Always account for number 6. He's always around the ball making tackles. Pretty good player. So yes, we're gonna try to establish the run. So that's no secret.
And my follow-up question is, as far as with the Bayou Classic, I know it's a big thing. That'd be one of the things I want to check off my bucket list. But give me your rendition as far as like Bayou Classic week leading up to the game.
It's the biggest of them all. So we don't have to motivate you to play this game. This week, you know, a lot of people get to enjoy Thanksgiving. Even as a player, even as a coach here, you're never going to get to experience Thanksgiving the way you do for the Bayou Classic. So it's a different experience. You know, you depend on your family here. This football team is my family during that time. So it's an awesome experience, man. And being in New Orleans for those few days, and then, you know, putting on the show at 1 o'clock on national TV. 2 institutions get to, you know, display what you want to display, and it'll be seen nationwide.
All right. Appreciate you, Coach.
No problem.
Last question goes to Keisha Kelly.
Coach, final question. You know, you talk about the experience. We know what it's like for Bayou Classic, but there are also other things outside of the game, things like job fairs and stuff. Are the players able to partake or, you know, participate in those things? Because I know you got the coaches' lunches and different things, but are they able to like do anything like as far as like those college fairs or the job fairs that go on as well?
Keisha, this is my first year back, but when I was here previously, even as a player, we had a chance. I know the Marine Corps was involved with it. It had a big job fair and stuff we used to get to go by. I'm not sure if it's still going on at the same time as the luncheon or in the same hotel, but
it is.
If I'm not mistaken, we will let them, you know, pass through.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
Coach Frederick, I want to thank you so much for taking some time to fill in for Coach Graves, and good luck this week.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, we now move over to Texas Southern and Coach Dishman. Once again, if you do have questions for our coaches on the call, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Dishman with Texas Southern. Good morning, Coach.
Hello, everyone. How you doing?
Doing great, Coach, and thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to join us. Coach, if you could please start us out with an opening statement recapping your team's most recent outing versus Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Well, I thought we came out very sharp offensively, running the football, which that's what we pride ourselves on doing. Had a little lax toward there in the second quarter. Coach explained it very well. He went play by play. I'm not going to go play by play because you done heard already the play by play from Coach. You know, we had a lapse where through an interception, the guy was able to rumble and tumble and end up scoring a touchdown and made it 7-7. Then they went up 10-7. We just kept our poise. What we just want to do is keep poise. That's what we practice all week, keeping poise and be able to learn from the mistakes that you have made. Oh, and if you win 2 SWAC West championships and get fired, I don't know where this game is going. It's unprofessional to get let go after winning 2. No matter if you're a Cole or you won it outright, it still is a win. So I don't know where this profession is going. I'm just happy this morning. I woke up and my key still works.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you're well. Talk a little bit about it as a Pro Bowler and the success you've had in the game. These young gentlemen playing in the SWAC and HBCU football would love to play on Sundays. I can't speak for them, but I'm sure that's some of their aspirations. Can you talk about guys getting opportunities and looks to play at the next level?
Well, they should. There's some great football here in the SWAC. And like I said, I've been in the SWAC. You know, it's week by week you can win or lose a game. You know, it's great football. So it's unfortunate our guys, you know, don't have more bowl games they can participate in. The East-West Shrine Bowl, the Senior Bowl. I know we have the Legacy Bowl for them, but it should be more bowl games out there those guys should be able to participate in because it's great football players here. Some good football players can make some teams and be valuable to some teams. So as an NFL scout, if you go to if you don't go to any of the HBCU schools, you're really hurting your program.
Thank you, sir.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Coach Dishman, how you doing this morning?
I'm good, Doc, and you?
I'm doing good. Ending the season at 5-6, and pretty much coming into the job kind of late and taking on what you had. How would you grade your season for this year?
Well, it's only when you go to if you're in the SWAC championship and you win it and you move on and play in Atlanta and win the SWAC, they're the true ones who had a great season. Our season was, 1-5-6 is not satisfactory or any of our coaches. And none of our players, if they're hearing this, we should never be satisfied as going 5-6. So what we're trying to do is the same thing that everyone on this call is trying to do, is win their respective East or West, get into Atlanta and win in Atlanta. You know, that's what our goals will never change. So to grade myself, I can't. It's up for the smart people and in the media. It's up for the smart people, the ones who have a higher pay grade than I do, and the smart people, the GMs or the athletic directors, to grade it because they're smarter than everybody else.
Okay, and for the off season, I think I've been asking this question all day. What are 3 things that you're looking for as far as off season, either offense or defense?
One, getting everybody back healthy. Number one, getting everybody back healthy. I gave the guys a week and a half off, and we're going to start our off season immediately. It's not time to rest. Everybody want to rest. It's not time to rest. It's time to keep pushing forward and see how you can see how fast and how you can push your body to the limit that you don't think you can push it to. So we're not getting that much time off. I'm not afraid of burning our guys out. I don't believe in burnout. I believe in working.
All right. Appreciate you, Coach.
Next question goes to Perry Daniels.
Good morning, Coach.
Mr. Daniels.
Coach, when is the time to rest?
Well, my dad, who was a Navy SEAL and was the frogman in the service, he always told me you rest when you're dead. I'm not dead. My player's not dead. And my coach is not dead. So it's no time to rest. We did not accomplish our goal. Our goal was to win Atlanta. We can't make it to Atlanta. Our goal was to win the SWAC. We did not win the SWAC. Our goal was to win the West. We did not win the West. So our goals are still out there. The only goal we did accomplish was to beat Prairie View, So that's the only goal we did accomplish. So our goals are still out there to get. So it's no time to rest. If anyone around me knows that I'm not going to rest.
So your program did win a victory over Prairie View this year, who was until this morning or yesterday sometime coached by your friend, Bubba McDowell. The truth is that there's only 2 division champs here each year and 1 conference champion. Talk about, you mentioned the coaching profession. Talk about the pressures it seems to be on SWAC coaches to deliver that aspect of winning the division title or the conference championship.
Because the people who make a decision don't understand coaching. The people who made that decision didn't understand the culture of coaching, didn't understand what coaches go through every single day. Coaching is not just on Saturdays. Coaching is Monday through Monday. That's part of coaching. And they don't understand how you can move 110 kids, get 110 individual young men and to do one common goal. yes, you travel 70, but you have 110. We have 110 guys on our team, and try to get them to do one common goal. It's a very difficult task to ask. But that's the people who make decisions who sit at the desk and don't understand the game.
Thank you, Coach. And well, I guess one other question, Coach. The relationship you and Coach McDowell have been very public about how close that relationship is. Can we look forward to him possibly being a part of the Texas Southern staff moving forward?
Well, I can't answer that. I can't answer that. That's a good question, though, but I can't answer that. Right now, I'm just waking up every morning, coming over here and hoping my keys still work.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
All right.
Last question goes to James Hill.
Coach Dishman, the recruiting process, as it were, the lifeline of the student athletes and acquiring them, the transfer portal, community colleges, the JUCOs in high school. Can you talk about the portal and, again, the opportunities that you'll be presented to bring guys in from this point forward?
Well, first of all, we don't. I can't, talk about that. What we're trying to do is get the best players for Texas Southern football. We try and get the best players, offensive, defense, and special teams to help us with football games. No matter if you're in high school, JUCO, a guy who want to play down, it doesn't matter to me. Excuse me. No matter if you're a 5-star, whatever star you are, because I believe in my coaching staff. If you're a 1-star, our coaching staff can make you play like a 4-star. I have a very good coaching staff who's very good at what they do, the craft, and they understand what hard work can help. So I don't look at stars. I don't look at say if you're a JUCO player, we getting the best players to help us win.
Thank you, sir.
Coach Dishman, we sincerely appreciate your time throughout the duration of these calls this season, and we look forward to speaking to you again at Media Day.
All right, have a great one. Bye.
All right, next we will be joined by Coach T.C. Taylor with Jackson State. Once again, if you have questions, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. Please limit your questions to one initial question. If there are several questions there in the queue, which I see is filling up quickly, please just one initial question. Feel free to re-raise your hand. If we've got time, we'll work our way back to get additional questions answered. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Taylor with Jackson State. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Doing great, Coach, and appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule to join us. Coach, if you could, please start us out with an opening statement, recapping your team's most recent outing at Alcorn State.
Another great Soul Bowl in the books. To go down on the reservation, I hadn't had many times to go down there. That game was always played here in the city of Jackson, but to go down there to Lorman, it was a great atmosphere, electric atmosphere, a lot of people everywhere on both sides. The fans showed up and showed out, but a great football game. I'm very proud of our football team to go down there and, dominate a team that was basically picked the West. We were locked in. The one stat that I took away from that game, though, the discipline for our guys, only 3 penalties in that football game, didn't turn the football over, but a great showing for our football team in all 3 phases. I can't say enough about, our team, our coaches, our fans, and everybody that played a big role in everything that went on this weekend, everything that's going on, currently in this season. So we're excited about where we are as a program right now. We'll take this week, enjoy some turkey dressing this week and get back at it. We got a big one here in the city of Jackson for us against Southern University. Coach Graves has really elevated that team. They're playing at a high level. So we got to be ready to go here in the next couple of weeks.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Doc Holliday.
Coach TC, how you doing today?
I'm good, Doc. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good. First of all, congratulations on being named finalist for the Eddie Robinson Award list. But my question is, you got Irv Mulligan hit the 1,000 yards that he needed in the game, and then you kind of settled back as far as letting Jacobian do his thing. What was the thing that you seen from the defense from Alcorn that kind of put the game in a perspective of what it is?
Well, we knew 44 that their outside linebacker DN was probably their best defensive player. He was, really causing a lot of chaos early in that football game. So we wanted to get Irv going, especially coming off of last weekend against Alabama State. We didn't run the football well. We knew he was getting close to those 1,000 yards. So I challenged the O-line to go out and really control 44. Let's control the line of scrimmage, period. And they did a great job. We was able to get Irv that 100 yards in the first half and, basically shut him down. But I continue to tell Jacobian, you got to be able to make some throws. Teams are going to stack the box with Irv back there in the backfield. He did that. He and Jonas hooked up several times on several big plays. Isaiah Spencer opened the game up with an explosive play. So very pleased with both of those guys. I can't say enough about them. And then with Irv crossing that 1,000-yard mark, that's huge for this program. I can't remember the last time we had a 1,000-yard rusher here. So for him to do that, that's a test to the O-line, our O-line coach, our running backs, and our running back coach. So great job by them.
I meant to tell you the last 1,000-yard rusher was Savion Wilkerson.
Oh, okay, then I missed that. That was a couple of years ago. Appreciate it.
No, you good, Coach.
He's a good player too.
You have a good one, Coach.
You too. Thanks, Doc.
Next question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone in Jackson are well. Congratulations on all of your success.
Thank you.
The defensive side of the ball for Jackson State. Talk a little bit about the defense, stopping guys and the thought process going into Southern.
Yeah, I mean, we're playing defense at a high level. Coach Quinn, Coach Orr, Coach James, all those guys over there, Coach DeVance are doing a great job, getting those guys in position for success. But we got some really good players on the defensive side of our ball. We got really good depth. We was missing some key pieces in this game last weekend, and we had some young guys, some true freshmen, highly touted true freshmen that were able to step up and go out and play really well this weekend. So the future looks really bright at a few positions, but it's our depth defensively. And then when we, the way we get the ball carried to the ground, those guys really emphasize striking people, and they do a good job with it, down in, down out.
Have a blessed week.
All right, thank you. You as well.
Next question goes to Keisha Kelly.
Hey, Coach. Good afternoon from ATL. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Congratulations on all your success this year, this season. Very great season for y'all.
Thank
I know
you.
I started talking trash to you, I think, starting around Legacy Bowl.
Yeah.
So now we carried it over. We didn't carry it over all season. But after that game on Saturday, what was your conversation with your family members? Because I know y'all talk trash back and forth.
It was all love at the end. Like I said, that's a family rivalry. My wife went to Alcorn. I got a lot of cousins that went to Alcorn, and it was just good to see them all. I had one of my cousins who's a actress. She popped up on me at that game, Anjanu Ellis. I did not expect to see her. My family went over there to the tailgate. They had a big tailgate over there, so it was just a big love deal over there. I spent a lot of time growing up on Alcorn campus as well, so it was good to see all them. Some of them were kind of hurt about the loss, but in the end, it's all about family first.
Well, again, congratulations on the great season. And I got a chance to watch Coach James when he was playing over at Tuskegee under Coach Slay. So I watched him all through his season. But good luck, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Next question goes to Wilton Jackson.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
What's going on, Wilt? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So I got a quick question for you. After a dominant win like that, how good does it feel to get somewhat of a week off to kind of enjoy this holiday with with your son coming into Jackson State this year, and then just to kind of get that week of additional preparation for a competition, in a game with Southern, the SWAC championship?
It feels awesome, Wilt, to be honest with you. I always think back to that second loss, the Grambling game. It's been a heck of a stretch, heck of a run by our football team, but we knew where we wanted to be at this point. We didn't want it this past weekend to be our last football game, and that's the way our football team and our coaches prepared and, went out there and put the plans in action. So we right where we want to be. We're in great position right now. We got hosting a SWAC championship game. It's big for the city. And, our AD is excited, our president is excited. So we're looking forward to that, but we're right where we want to be. We didn't want it to be a deal where we finishing it up in Alcorn and our season was over. We wanted more football on the table. So to have the opportunity to play for a SWAC championship here in the city of Jackson and potentially a Celebration Bowl berth, we're excited as a program, Will.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Dwayne Nash.
Good afternoon, Coach. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Your program finished the year with 10 wins this year. Matter of fact, I think this is the first time in program history that that your team has finished with at least 10 wins in three of your last 4 years. With you being a big part of that, can you speak on the success of the program while you were there? Well, over the past 4 years.
Just putting together great rosters and great coaching staffs. That's what it's been all about. And it tells you about our athletic director, Ashley Robinson, the things that he, his vision and how he wants JSU football to look. He does a great job of giving us everything we need to be successful. So it's up to us as coaches to go out here and do a recruit at a high level and coach at a high level and get these young men ready to play. We know going into each and every game we play, we got a huge mark on our back. Everybody wants to beat Jackson State. And we just got a standard around here. And, we've been living up to it, and we're going to continue to live up to that standard.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Chris Stevens.
Good morning, Coach Taylor. Chris Stevens, HBCU Sports. How are you?
I'm good, Chris. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I don't want to drag down the mood, obviously. Everything's going well for you guys, but about that ESPN report on Friday, do you have any comment on that? Were you aware that there was an investigation going on or anything of that nature?
No, I didn't, but it is what it is. I leave that up to the SWAC offices to get everything cleared up with that. They'll make their decision on that. But I'm gonna say this: we don't need to go that route in order to beat any football team. I've been doing this a long time, and I, pride myself in doing it the right way. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, Coach. Thanks very much for your time, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
I got one more question for you, Coach. A lot of people have doubted you and this team since the beginning, especially since you became the head coach of Jackson State University. What would you like to tell the people that kind of doubted you and put you in a position to elevate this team to where we at right now?
The train has left the station.
I love that.
And we're not selling any more tickets.
Man, I love that. You have a good one, Coach. Happy Thanksgiving, bro.
Same to you, Doc. Thank you.
Last question goes to Dwayne Nash.
Just one more question, Coach. With his dynamic season this past year, can you go ahead and make a pitch for Irv Mulligan to be the winner of this year's Deacon Jones Award?
Irv Mulligan makes us go offensively. He's a leader on this football team. He's a great human being. He's going to play on Sundays. This is a guy that, we were able to get out of the transfer portal from Wofford University. And we saw it early on when we watched the tape on him, like he can really change a program, not just impact, but he really has changed the program. Unfortunately, last year he had the injury, but he was having a great season last year. And for him to work his butt off after the surgery to get back to this point and the things he's doing on the field right now, I mean, he's a pro. He's a pro in himself, and it really matters to him. He has the goal of, he wanted 1,000, but the goal that he wanted was to be playing in a Celebration Bowl or a SWAC championship. So I can't say enough about him. And, if there's another back out there better than him, I'd like to see it. But he can really play the game of football.
Thanks, Coach. Enjoy your holiday this week.
Same to you. Thank you.
Thank
you. Coach Taylor, we sincerely appreciate your time. And next week, we'll have you join us again for the championship Zoom call. So we look forward to speaking with you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate what y'all do.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. Next, we are joined by Coach Kendrick Wade with Mississippi Valley State. If you do have questions for Coach, please utilize your raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Wade. Coach, obviously some technical difficulties, so appreciate your diligence here to join us on the call.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you guys for your patience.
Absolutely. Coach, if you could just start us out with a statement regarding your team's most recent outing versus Alabama A&M.
Yeah, man, we came out, it was a shootout in the first half. Coach Maynard brought those guys down and they played very well. I think Coach Maynard one of the best offensive minds in the SWAC. So we had a shootout in the first half. Second half, we sputtered a little bit. We ended up losing our top receiver, Nate Rembert. He ended up going down to an ankle injury. I think in the third quarter, our quarterback went down with a with a thigh injury as well, and we lost our left tackle. Not to say that had anything to do with the outcome of the game, but we lost a couple of our key pieces, and we weren't able to keep up that offensive output that we had in the first half. But all in all, kids played hard, and they finished the season the right way.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everybody in the Delta are well. Can you talk a little bit about the Delta Devils, this year's ball club, signature win, FAM? You've had some success and you had some injuries, but just talk about the grind and what you see from this year's team.
Man, I've never been around a more resilient group of young men. We went through a lot. We had a lot of injuries. We had players who was deemed ineligible. So we missed some of our key players the first 4 games of the season. Guys just kept showing up each and every day. Just proud of these young men. I think we're learning, before you learn how to win, I think you have to learn how not to lose. So I think it was a great year for us to learn that these are the things that you have to do to keep yourself from losing games. And now you put yourself in position to win games. So we're very excited about the future. If we can keep our kids, keep the core group together, we're feeling really good about what we'll be bringing back in 2025.
Thank you, Coach. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You too.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Coach Way, how you doing today?
Doc, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, man. Man, you almost had me out of my seat on Saturday in the first half, dog. But 3 things that you looking for as far as an off-season pertaining to your team. What are the 3 things as far as position-wise?
We always looking to get better up front on both sides of the ball. So everything we do here at the Valley starts up front, offensive, defensive line. We want to get better. 4 of our 5 offensive linemen are returning, but we want to get more competitive depth at those positions. And up front, we need to get some guys who can get to the quarterback. So those are things that we're looking for. And skill-wise, we're looking for competitive depth. Our receiving core is coming back, but we need some guys that can come in that you won't have a significant drop-off between your 1s and 2s. So those are things we're looking for as far as talent. And we're looking for some guys who can cover. We want to be able to get after people. We got to be able to play man-to-man behind it. So we're just looking to get better as a whole. We need to get bigger, faster, and stronger as well. So those are things we're truly honing in on for the 2025 season.
And I know you talked about earlier this season that you had to let some people go as far as on your staff. Were you going to be doing wholesale staff changes in the offseason or kind of keep this core group that you have now?
I mean, we're going to take this week, kind of get with our family. So I'm not really getting into that right now, but everybody on the staff is always evaluated. And every man on the staff understand that, you're responsible for what you do or don't do. So again, at the appropriate time, I'll meet with those guys. We'll sit down and talk. I am proud of the hard work of all those guys on the staff. They gave it up this year and they gave their best. So again, at the appropriate time, we'll start talking about some of those things internally with some of those guys.
Appreciate you, Coach. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, sir.
Yes, sir. You too, Doc.
Next question goes to Perry Daniels.
Morning, Coach.
Hey, Perry, good morning.
Coach, I want to get your comments on a statement. The statement is not a question, a statement is that it is unreasonable for an under-resourced institution to expect a head coach to win every time he steps on the field within the first 3 years of his coaching tenure.
Man, I agree with you wholeheartedly. All you got to do is just look at the history. It's not a head coaching thing. What is me, Vincent Dancy, Coach Comegee, we got to have some serious conversations about what we really want to do here. And, we got to be all in, So as coaches, I never get on here and make any excuses about anything, but there are some conversations to be had about what we really want to do. I came here to win, but I can't do it by myself. It doesn't matter what coaches I bring in, what players I bring in. There are going to be some other sources that we're going to need to be elevated as well in order for us to go out there and be competitive week in and week out. Just beating a team like FAM, in reality, it should never happen. They have more everything than we have. Money, resources, scholarships, just better facilities and everything else. So, like I said, I'm a winner, man, and I'm here to win. I'm not here just to say I'm the head coach. So I've already reached out to our administrators and told them that I want to have a sit down and we need to talk about some things. And I want to lay out some things that we need to do moving forward in order to put us in position to go out and be successful. Because we've done a good job as far as recruiting players. We got some kids in here, just relationship, just being able to have genuine relationship with these kids. That was our only selling point. We had to sell ourselves. And now we got to be able to sell some other things in order to continue to bring really good kids in here. Because we're closer than what it looked like. We're very, very close. We could have easily won 4 or 5 games this year. But again, our bodies broke down as the season went on, not having the proper nutrition and things that you need to be able to maintain the body throughout the duration of a season. So these are serious conversations that I'm looking forward to having with the powers to be.
And Coach, you articulated a strategy that has worked for Valley earlier this season. You made this articulation regarding recruiting. And I thought it was just brilliant that you all have had success in the portal of choosing guys that have been very, very effective on the Division II level. Talk about that strategy moving forward.
Well, Perry, you got to think about it. Those kids, first of all, a lot of these kids that are coming down a level, they didn't play at those previous institutions. There's a reason why. It's not always coach don't like me. Maybe just not a really good football player. And, we have to be open and honest about that. We like kids who love football. And those kids who've been productive at the lower level, just looking for opportunity to move up, they work for us because most places that they're coming from, like a Nate Rembert, he come from Edward Waters. So coming to Mississippi Valley State, was a move up for him. Dante Reed, the kid we signed, another D2 kid from Wayne State, those are hungry football players. And they're not looking for a facility. They're just looking for an opportunity to prove themselves to be worthy enough to play on a much higher level. So that's our strategy. It's going to continue to be our strategy. When we get in the portal, we're looking for good football players. We're not looking for 4 or 5 stars or what logo you have, SEC, ACC, it doesn't matter to us. Can you play football? We don't look at a lot of practice film. We want to look at game film. So the kids we like to bring in are the kids that have been very productive at their previous institution. And those kids have worked excellent for us. I think we have like 95% retention rate with those kids. So those kids come and they hungry and they proven themselves to be good football players, which is what we want here at Mississippi Valley State.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck, and you've done an awesome job this year.
Appreciate you, Perry. Thank you, guys.
Any final questions for Coach Wade with Mississippi Valley State? Coach Wade, we sincerely appreciate your time on these calls throughout the duration of this season, and we look forward to speaking to you again at Media Day. Yes,
sir. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it. Bad technology, and I'm severely under the weather, so it's been a little tough today.
Absolutely. Get better, Coach. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. We are working to reach Coach Mickey Joseph with Grambling State. So we're going to pause here momentarily to try.
I don't think that's because they got to look at, and I think I paid up.
We will be back momentarily. We're going to work to try to get a hold of Coach Joseph. Thank you for your patience. For our media participants that are joining us, we would like to make just a quick announcement that we will conduct a football head coaches media session with the championship matchup of Jackson State and Southern. So we'll have Coach TC Taylor as well as Coach Terrence Graves join us this next Monday upcoming. And we will send that information out with that Zoom link here momentarily.
Yeah, I got it.
Everything situated, but just want to make an announcement that we will have a SWAC championship head coaches media session next Monday.
Yeah. That's the main thing I had.
All right, Coach Joseph is having some technical difficulties logging on from his phone, so we do apologize that he is unable to join us, but we do want to thank all of our media participants that have joined us on the call and for your participation throughout this season. Just a reminder, we'll have the SWAC Championship Head Coaches Media Session this upcoming Monday. Look forward to speaking with you all then. Thank you and have a great day.